Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new episode of TrashTalk. I'm here with a very, very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everyone, my name's Jesus, better known as Shampee, and I make video essays or documentaries, whatever the hell you want to call them, in a similar style to like Internet Anarchist or Sunny V2, those type of people.
Yeah, 100%, man. And just jumping straight into it, how did you get started on YouTube? Because looking at your older content, it was more of the interview variety, way more of the stuff that we sort of do on here. So how did you get into the scene? Was it commentary or was it like another form of content that like genuinely got you into making content?
Well, like my very start was back in 2013 when I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was just making, like the run-of-the-mill shitty Minecraft Let's Plays on like a horrible
Yeah.
laptop that barely runs the game. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I did that for a couple years. Then I transitioned to like drama content for a bit,
Yeah.
like exposés and shit like that. I milked the hell out of uh McJuggernuggets, if you know who that is.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I made so many videos on him, just like exposing the Psycho series and whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
once that well ran dry, I just got bored of doing that, and really like my mom especially just despised the fact that I made that content because I would get dunked on so goddamn hard. Um,
No. Yeah.
and so and so then I pivoted back to gaming very temporarily. It must have been like a month or two that I was doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
then I landed on interviews similar to what you do here. Except
Yeah.
it wasn't a formal podcast per se. I was just doing interviews on my channel, and I got to interview all sorts of people. And I did that for about like 2 years, 2.5 years. And in 2019 is when I started doing the type of content I make now.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, back then it was a lot less professional. It was a lot more mediocre. Like I watch those videos
Mm-hmm.
nowadays, and I'm like, damn, these aren't that great. But you have to start
Well,
somewhere, and
mhm.
now I'm here. That's really about
Well,
it.
yeah, and I'm taking a look back at your interviews, and it does seem
Yeah,
like you managed to score some quite big interviews, right? So,
yeah,
one with Carson, Alice Mark, Scrubby, Turkey Tom 5 years ago before like fucking, of course he got to the size he is now. So, like, did you look back at that content and enjoy that content? Like, do you regret doing that, or is it something that you look back on fondly, right? Because you got the opportunity to speak to those people.
I'm definitely glad. Yeah, I'm definitely glad I did the interviews for sure, no doubt. And it was pretty cool to talk to those people, especially when they were like really small creators.
Hmm.
A fun little fact about Tom is he actually saw my Quentin Reviews interview, and
Yeah.
uh, and he reached out to me from that, and he's like, "Hey, you make pretty good stuff, keep it up." And he was actually smaller than me back then, which is
Yeah.
hilarious because now he has like almost 1 million subscribers.
Yeah,
Um,
I guess it's just how things change, and like you did like live stream quite a few of these interviews, right? These were like live streamed. Uh,
most of them I'd say were live streamed. Yes.
yeah, and was there a particular reason that you did it that way, or was it just like preference?
Convenience, man, because like editing
Hmm.
audio is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Um, and if the interviewee preferred a live stream or rather was okay with it, I would prefer doing it that way because it's just easier. I mean, if they wanted to record, a lot of people would ask, "Look, I want to record this. I don't want to do it live." I'd be like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it," and then I just edit it together. But given the choice, I'd always take the live streams because that was just much easier.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I guess it leads to more clips, more variety, more entertainment. And like, it's not
Yeah.
like they didn't do well in comparison to what a long film would. Like, one of them has like over 35,000 views. So, like, it did well, and it's still like a very popular video on your channel. So, I guess it's just what comes with live streaming. And we did touch on what your content you do now.
Yeah.
But like for maybe people that aren't familiar with the content that you do sort of create now, could you just like sum it up in like a little bit, like well, what do you do now?
Yeah, like I said in the introduction, I make content that's very akin to what Internet Anarchist and Sunny V2 does.
Hmm.
Pretty much in that same vein. Although I
Yeah.
am probably gonna start branching out soon. Been thinking like some gaming analysis and shit like that, not
Mhm.
just like commentary talking about others. Yeah,
Well, before we get on to any particular videos, like in
sure.
question, like to do with like the stuff you do now, for a lot of people, what they will notice when they click on your channel is that there are like months between uploads. Like,
Yeah.
is that how you like to do? Like, you'd like to put loads of effort in, or do you want to increase like how many uploads you're putting out? Is there like a reason for that, or is it just like burnt out, or can be asked, or is there just like that's your upload schedule?
Nah, man, I've just always been of the mentality that videos are done when they're done and quality over
Yeah,
quantity.
yeah.
That's always been my mentality. Um,
No, 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 100%.
is I don't want to just put out slop. Uh,
Yeah,
so I rather spend a good chunk of time on each video and make sure it's the best it can be.
yeah, 100%. And one video that I think a lot of people will know you for better or worse, is your corpse
Yep.
husband video.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like we couldn't do this episode without like not mentioning this and talking about this for a bit, because it is
Fair.
such a big thing that happened. It's how I found out about you. It's
Yeah.
how I think a lot of people found out about you. So for maybe people that don't know, what happened in all of that, just take us through making the video, it blowing up, and then like the
Mhm.
controversy around it.
Yeah, so that's probably like how you found out about me and many others, like you said.
Mhm.
Um, so basically I had that idea since like late 2022.
Yeah.
It just came to me because I was like, well, Corpse hasn't really been active for a while. What the
Mhm.
hell is he up to nowadays? Like, do people know? I mean, I know he has a shit ton of followers on Twitter and stands out the fucking wazoo. And people keep up with his music and all of that, but really the more casual viewer might not know. So I had that idea, sitting there, my ideas list for a while. And come, 2023, and I make my first video, the J Schlatt video. That does okay. But then I'm like, damn, that corpse video looks real nice right about now. So what happened is this. I'm in a server with a lot of other YouTubers. It's called The Algorithm.
Yeah.
Um, and we all, share stuff about our videos and just talk about whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
Um, and so there I met this guy called Loki Jude, who is a YouTube strategist. And for those who aren't aware, a YouTube strategist, they're people that have a lot of knowledge of how to get a video to do well, and they help other creators achieve that. So I partnered up with Loki Jude, and basically I hit him up in the DMs because I asked for feedback for my JSlat video, and then we got in touch with each other that way because he responded to my message. And so I DM'd him and I was like, "Hey man, can I send you a list of my video ideas?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And so I send it, and he's like, "Damn, that corpse husband idea looks real nice." And I'm like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
thanks, man. I appreciate it." And so we decide to work together on the video. He's like, "I'll help you out with this video because I think it can do really well.
Mhm.
Just as long as you give me like a split of the profits of the video." I'm like, "All right, yeah, that sounds good." So we basically start working on the title and thumbnail. I remember we sat down in like a 4 hour call, just banging out titles and the thumbnail
Yeah.
for the video. And then once we did that, I wrote up the first draft of the script, sent it over to him. He completely reworked it from top to bottom. That shit was not the same as what I wrote initially. Yeah, but he made it really nice though. He was really good at like condensing information and simplifying it because I'm pretty like elegant in my wording sometimes,
Mhm.
and that's not
Yeah.
exactly the best for retention. So he simplified a lot, and then came the recording. He helped me kind of perfect the voiceover as much as we could. And then came the editing. And for that video, I had an editor do it. Well, most of my videos, or recent videos rather, are edited by this editor, except my last one. The Sunny one is not. That was a different person. But this editor, this was his first time tackling a video like this, and he's on the younger side. He's currently 17. He was 16 when he was doing that video. And but he kicked ass with it. He really did. Aside from the mess up, which we'll get to. And I don't even fault him for that. I fault myself. Aside from that, he kicked ass with it. Absolutely banger video. I think it was wonderfully edited. I think he's very talented. And that whole process of editing and working through revisions took about 2 weeks. And the video, after about a whole month of working on it, dropped on February 27th. I remember the exact date. It was a Monday at like noon. And it started off fairly, slow. Like, I think within the first day it had like 300 views or something like that.
Yeah.
But like the CTR and AVD were pretty decent. Like, it was good on that front, but it was still not like super fast. It wasn't an instant blow up. But I'm like, okay, it's going strong in terms of statistics. Let's keep waiting and see what happens. The days go by, and eventually it kind of like fizzles out, and I thought the video was dead right then and there. I was like, oh, it's over, it's done.
Yeah.
But then, thankfully, that's not what happened. So come Saturday, and the video starts getting like a couple thousand views. I think on Saturday it got like 20,000 views. But little did I know when I went to bed that night, the next morning I'd be waking up to some crazy shit that I had never seen before in my life. So I woke up.
Real quick. But before you get into that.
Okay. I woke up. Oh, sorry, I keep cutting you off, Sam. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. But with that, right? So like the editing process, like you said, was really clean, right? You produced a great video, which I think a lot of people, apart from the mistake, right? The mistake lowers the quality of the video, of course.
Yeah.
But the video itself was a good video, right? It's done really
Thank
well,
you.
right? It did an outrageous an amount of views. For a video, especially for a channel at the time, which you had less than like what you have now, right? Way less.
I had
So
like 6,000 subs. Yeah.
yeah. And the video did really well. And of course, the common critique of that video will be what you speak about next. So I do have some questions about that, but for me, like up until that point, like I could see the process and how you could have possibly missed what went on, but of course, like you haven't spoken about the actual like mistake video.
Yeah, let me just wrap up what I was saying quickly, and then I'll get to that. So I wake up Sunday, get a DM from my editor, and he's like, "You're not gonna fucking believe this," and it's my like social blade going up to 7K subs. I'm like, holy fuck, something crazy is going on. And I go to my YouTube studio, and I see the video has like 130,000 views, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just absolutely mind blown. And then throughout the day, it just keeps rapidly growing and growing and growing. And I think it gets to like 1 mil or 1 mil something by the end of that day, going into Monday. And I hit 10K as well. But then Monday comes, it keeps growing, it gets to like 2 mil. But then around like 7 p.m., I get a notification on my phone saying that the video has been taken down for a community guidelines violation. And what that was is there is a part in the video towards the end where we show a Kiwi Farms thread that shows an alleged corpse husband docs. That includes his name, pictures of his face, and his home address and house, or allegedly, right? This is all allegedly. I don't know if it's real or not. But so we showed that in the video, and it was not censored, as I said, and that's ultimately what led to the takedown. Now, I think my thing was I should have definitely told my editor to censor that. That was like a complete oversight on my behalf. Like 100%. I completely accept that. Or I should at least blurt it in the YouTube studio when the video was uploaded. But I didn't. That thought didn't cross my mind at all. And I guess
Like
like go ahead.
with that, like being able to, is there like a reason apart from like because you said like you forgot you didn't know, right? Like it just wasn't a thought until that point, right? Like, did you not realize that like you needed to blur it, or did you not realize that like that was going to come back to bite you in the ass like later on? Because I feel like that was the criticism, right? Was like how do you make a video and not notice about it? But I
Yeah.
guess from your perspective, you've got an editor, and even if you're watching through the video, like it is like a part that like you blink and you're gonna miss it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a little bit of both. We were doing so many revisions to it that
Mhm.
like fucking I just forgot to mention that one. I did like I won't say that I flat out didn't notice that was there, but I guess my cope was like, "Oh, this is already on the internet, so I can put it up on my video." Um
Yeah.
I know it's like a stupid cope, like it still should have been censored regardless of the fact that it's already up on Kiwi Farms. It has
Mhm.
since been taken down, by the way. That's worth noting.
Yeah.
Um, but I guess that was like my cope again. Very stupid, but I don't know. I just like so many things. Fucking, I got caught up and I was like, I just never did it. I never ended up doing it. I don't know. It's hard to explain,
Well, yeah.
but I
Like I guess for you, right? It is a situation. It is crazy, right? Because you're going through this rush of emotion, right? This video has
yeah
done insanely well, especially for a smaller commentator, right? Like
yeah
a lot of people in the small commentary community will never see numbers with an M there, never ever. Like we'll get to that point, right? And you just got
yeah
lucky, right? Managed to make a
yeah
video that got to that extent, and like, how are you feeling at that point when this video is done really well, and then you see it gets taken down? Because I feel like a lot of people would be crushed, lose a lot of their motivation, regardless of why it was taken down or if you were anything wrong or whatever.
yeah
Regardless of that, like I feel like a lot of people will lose motivation and just stop. Like, what was your feelings when that happened?
yeah. I'm gonna be honest, man. Like I wasn't as defeated as I thought I would be.
Hmm.
Like I remember I was speaking to my dad on the phone when I got that notification and it was like, "Oh shit, they've taken the video down."
Yeah.
Um but I kind of like immediately knew why. I was like, "Oh, it's the fact that we left that shit uncensored, isn't it?" And then I got confirmation. We can get to that in a second that it
Hmm.
was. But like I was not as like fucking crushed as I thought I would be. I definitely was like mildly upset and disappointed more than anything in myself that we didn't censor that. Um, but I wasn't like demotivated by it or anything like that. No.
Well, yeah, like, sorry, fucking my throat. But I guess it just does come down to like motivation, reaction, and stuff, and like how you deal with
Yeah.
it. And it seems like you processed it in a way that a lot of people would, right? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, if their video had got to that extent, they would then look at it and go, "Well, like I know why, like whatever, like oh, it's fine."
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people would be defeated and deflated.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Sorry. So then, like moving forward, you said about like how you got confirmation about that. Like, what happened after like you got the notification? After like you spoke to like your editor and stuff. Like, what happened after that?
Yeah. So, as soon as the video got taken down, I hopped into a call with Jude, which is again the strategist that helped me with the video, and
Hmm.
we filed an appeal um, on YouTube,
Yeah.
and we hoped that they'd bring the video back up and we could censor the part, the docs, and that would be it. Unfortunately, however, that's not how it works. The appeal was denied, and the video was stayed down. And at that point, we had no choice. Well, actually, we did have a choice. We could have kept it down, but we were like, let's try and go to Twitter, see if we can bring it back up and
Hmm.
censor that shit. and just move on. So I put up a tweet, probably a horribly embarrassing tweet. Looking back on it, to be honest, I could maybe even like pull up what I said because it just makes me cringe every time I fucking read it. Let me find it.
Well, like, while you do that, I do remember seeing the tweet, and I remember I think I might have even quote tweeted calling you an idiot because like I felt like
Probably.
at the time like it was really hard, especially like even now it's hard to like see your perspective. Like I get what you're saying, I get your story, and I think like a lot of people do, but it's
Yep.
probably just it's the dumbest decision and mistake. Like, and this isn't like an insult to you, right? Like, I haven't got you on it just to like insult you or whatever. But it's just like for me, it will go down as like one of the biggest fails in like small CC because it is genuinely
Yeah.
such a story that it went from this video did really well and like this video was picking up speed and whatever and your channel was growing from it, and then
Yeah.
it flipped to a controversy surrounding you just because of a little mistake that you had made, and I guess like you said, the tweet probably didn't help.
Yeah. Okay, so I found it here, Sam. Here, I'll read it out. So what I
Mhm.
wrote is this. I'm devastated that after my video with 2 million views got mass reported by corpse stands, YouTube deleted the video for harassment and bullying. Here's the cringy line that I've said so many times to people. This will haunt me for the rest of my life. I said it could have changed my life. At Team YouTube, please let me appeal the takedown and please signal boost this. That's the
Yeah.
line I shouldn't have added. The it could have changed my life, and maybe the I'm devastated. Maybe I shouldn't have put that in either. But the it could have changed my life. I should not have written that in there. We kind of like co-wrote the tweet. Jude and I, we kind of like bounced ideas around to like make it somewhat like I guess juicy for people who may read the tweet, so they retweet it or whatever. Um but like not disrespectful, but at the same time it could have changed my life was definitely kind of disrespectful.
Well, like, because I remember that tweet coming out and people rip you to shreds. Because, like, the issue is, right, is for a lot of people that didn't get to see the video, it was, okay, this video's been struck down by angry, like, Minecraft fans, whatever, like, is what it is.
Yeah,
But,
corpse
of course, there is
cousins.
the element that it is the potential docs there, right? And I
Yeah.
remember that's what I pointed out, and that's what, like, I remember we had a couple of backwards and forwards and replies and stuff, and that was, like, what I pointed out, was that it is such, like, it is a serious thing, right? Regardless if it's not like actually true or what, like everyone is under the impression that it is true and it is still in the video.
Yeah.
Uh, like I guess looking back at it, like of course you regret that decision
Yeah.
to do, but like would you do things differently or like what? Because I guess now like there is some stuff that like still we get very into it because I feel like the situation goes on and on. But like
Yeah.
what would you do like looking back at it?
Well, we can go after the aftermath of the tweet.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I posted it and it got a shit ton more attention than I thought it ever would. I was expecting like a couple likes, maybe like a retweet or two, and that's it.
Hmm.
But no, it fucking. I remember before I took it down, because I did eventually take it down. Um, Jesus, I think like almost a million people saw it, and it had like thousands of likes and tons of quote retweets and shit.
Yep.
And I had a lot of larger content creators on my side. I remember Pyrocynical had reached out to me and he was like, I want to make a video on this on the, like his Pyro Live channel, the Slop channel as he calls it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like reached out to me and he was like, I want to make a video on there. He never did, thankfully, because fucking
Was
that
that?
probably.
Did you reckon, like, at that point he was under the impression that you had just been falsely striked? Like you had included it? 'Cause I guess that tweet was very, like, um, I feel like it leaves out those details, right? Where it's like, I know I messed up or whatever with it, but, like, it's saddening to see that I can't, like, be able to even tweak it or, like, fix my mistake, right? It was very much like, my life has been, like, my possible future been destroyed.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
And like I guess that's where like a lot of bigger content creators would have seen. So like
yeah.
for you, like going forward with that and like the reaction afterwards, what was the reaction when like all of that stuff about the face started coming out, right? Because I remember that there was a very big switch, and you could see in the replies between the days where people found out that you had like
Yeah.
forgot to blur stuff to when they didn't know about it. Like, how was that? Like when that started going on?
Yeah, so I remember. So again, the tweet was posted on Tuesday. I got a
Uh-huh.
ton of support, a lot of big content creators backing me. Saying like, "Hey, YouTube, bring this video back up."
Yeah.
And then fucking, I go to bed, and then overnight, it's like fucking or a lot of people turn on me, and
Hmm.
they're like, because John Swan was the one that broke it. Uh,
Yeah.
he posted a tweet being like, he showed the part where the docs was shown, and he was like, this is a completely justified takedown, and it was. And I like responded something to him along the lines of, yeah, I'm a complete moron for doing this. I don't remember my exact words. I'm paraphrasing. I'm a
Uh-huh.
complete moron for doing this. I really apologize, and I'm gonna tweet out, a short apology soon. And I did, and I said like, I quote retweeted YouTube's reply, like the team YouTube reply that said like, yep, this has been taken down correctly. Here's the timestamp in question, and we will not be bringing the video back up. And I was like,
Hmm.
yeah, we made a grave mistake. I'm really sorry. I fucked up massively here, and I need to be more careful going forward. And then I was like, I'm sorry to everyone that I let down, and I'm sorry to Corpse because I did you dirty. I said something like that. Um,
Yeah.
and I had talked to some of the YouTubers behind the scenes who, initially supported me, and then the next day they were like, "What the fuck, Shampee? What the hell?"
Well, yeah, like
And
I guess it's because the tweet was so more ambiguous about the details. Like
yeah,
I feel like just like from looking in on the situation, like getting to hear your side, I feel like I guess if the tweet was way more like, look, I'm messed up, like I did this, like I get this bit straight, but I would like a chance to be able to like fix it, blah 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 blah. Like I
yeah,
guess more people would be like the bigger creators would have still been on your side, where I guess they've defended you without realizing what you did because you didn't say it. Uh,
yeah.
so like again, like looking at that, do you regret not putting that in your tweet as like I messed up, whatever, blah blah blah?
Yeah, I actually in like a follow-up tweet, like a reply that I also deleted, I
Mhm.
put like, if the video comes back up, we will blur the part that needs to be blurred
Yeah.
or something like that. But of
Hmm.
course, most people probably did not see that reply, just saw the initial tweet. And yeah, it's true. In the initial tweet, I didn't really mention anything that I did wrong. Uh, and maybe I should have, to be honest. Yeah, should have been more clear with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And,
yeah,
well, at that point, right? That's when videos started as well, like being made around this. One like getting quite a few views, a Cheetos video, which got
the
like
Cheetos.
200,000 views.
Yeah,
Um, like just my final question on this was, how was that for you as a content creator that like going from like a small content creator really to a guy that was known massively, right? For whatever reasons, no negatively, positively, whatever, right? You were
yeah,
known by people, like a lot of people. How like at what that point, right? Because of course you were saying that like when your video was taken down, it wasn't like you weren't panicking, you weren't worrying, you sort of just took on the chin, whatever. At that point when
yeah,
everyone was like, attacking you and stuff, and you had videos made on you by big content creators, what was your thought process there?
yeah, man. I mean, I definitely like. I remember when I woke up on Wednesday, I actually like fucking kind of had like a little mini panic attack.
Hmm.
Um, because it was just so like wild, just seeing the amount of people just dunking on me again, fairly. They're not unfairly. Like everything they were saying was just like I deserve to get clowned on. Like I commented on or I've talked about Grimsy and the Cheetos videos. I talked to Cheeto privately,
Hmm.
and I'm like, yeah, you boys dunked on me with complete reason to do so, like fair reason to do so. But on Wednesday when I woke up, like I said, it was like, yeah, I was kind of like fucking tense and nervous. Until things settled down, and I talked to some of the YouTubers, and I apologized, and some people accepted it, and the people that didn't, I mean, there's nothing I can really do to change their minds.
No, no, 100%, man. And like
Yeah.
moving forward, like on that, uh, what did you do after that, right? Because like I feel like, of course, public perception was a bit rocky at that point. So what did you
hmm
do content creation? Like, what was your process at that point? Like, where were you going with all that? Because there is only like a certain extent what you can do. So what were
hmm
you doing at that point after all of the drama had sort of died down and everything?
Yeah, I mean, so I think the last big thing that happened with that drama was a Cheetos video, which came out like a
Yeah.
week after the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the last big thing. I basically just decided to not upload anything in March. Wait till
Yeah.
April till things like settle down. Um, some people do still bring it up, like in comment sections on my videos, like, "Oh, isn't this the guy that Doc's corpse husband?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I mean, like it's something that'll follow me forever. Um, but I mean, I can't really turn back time or change anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of have to live with that, and that's okay. But like, I'm just a lot more cautious nowadays with what I show in videos. Also, I'm trying to be, like I said, I'm kind of trying to experiment with content from now on.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe other kinds of content that doesn't really rely on talking about other creators.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I came back like in late April with that dream vid, and that was received well. And at that point, it was like, okay, I'm okay. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I know Ace. Like, is there anything you want to just add on to that?
yeah,
This
Ace
is
hasn't said anything.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so this is kind of like a random question on this, but it also
Yeah,
like really out of the ordinary. But like, have you ever actually like had talked to Corpse Husband during that thing, or was that never something that happened?
I got some people like saying that Corpse should sue me. Um,
Oh fuck.
but no, I actually never spoke to Corpse. No, again, like I said, the biggest person I spoke throughout all of that was Pyro, and that was a very brief conversation. And he never made that video, as I said, that he said he was going to make. So, um, but no, I never spoke to Corpse or any friends of Corpse. No, none of them acknowledged that situation, and it makes sense that they didn't. Anyway, I don't think it was. It was like a large situation, but I don't think it was that large to the point where like the whole internet knew about it or talked about it or anything like that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
I guess at that point it was way more. I don't know, like it got bigger than commentary, because I know people that like knew of like or like were friends, like, not friends, fucking hell, but like fans of Corpse, right? In real life,
Yeah,
and would have conversations about internet drama and stuff, and talk about it, and they knew of the situation, right? And they weren't exactly like commentary fans, but they knew of the
yeah,
situation. It did get big, right, for people, like especially in the Minecraft scene. It got big commentary, of course, and just in the general public, there were quite a few people that saw it. And like,
yeah,
how, like, my last question to you, right? Because I feel like since like you've uploaded some videos, but this is like the big thing, right? The big thing that I feel like people want to know about, if that makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
Um, for you, like reflecting on it, how, like looking back at it now, how have you processed everything? Like, how did you look at that now, and like, what's your thoughts looking back at it entirely?
Yeah, I mean, part of me kind of regrets having ever made that video, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I feel that it was I mean I apart from the docs itself, I don't know if the video can maybe be labeled as a little bit invasive, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I just apart from that, like I think I would have rather like a couple of smaller blow ups than just one big blow up like that, because I think I gained a lot of inactive subs from that video.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I guess there's just so many factors at play there, right? Like that is what, like, regardless, regardless if like you want it to or not, that will be like for a lot of people what you're remembered as
Oh,
is the guy
absolutely.
that like could have possibly doxed Scott's husband, right? And I feel like
Exactly. Yeah.
even for me when I'm like doing the commentary tier lists and doing stuff like that, and like when we have our interactions like that, that is what I'm always thinking about. It's a corpse
Yeah.
husband video, and
You
like
you broke my heart, Samuel, with your ranking of
yeah,
me. Awfully shit. Come on now.
yeah, I
Goodness,
do, I do
over.
you dirty, I do you dirty, man. I put you in like with Jalen and like Natty Forsyth. I do it bad.
Oh my
Yo,
god.
I
In
gotta
between
ask.
those two little spastics, I didn't even see him on that list.
Yo, Shampee,
Jesus Christ.
really random question as well.
Yeah.
So, how does it feel like after everything that you've gone through that you've also seen the video like re-uploaded on different accounts?
To my knowledge, there's only one account that re-uploaded the video, and it's their only video.
Oof.
And that has like 8,000 views, I think, that
Yeah,
re-upload.
yeah. From what I see, there's only two. But what I saw as well, 'cause I remember getting it on my For You page, is there was a lot of re-uploads on TikTok, lots of
Oh
clips.
my god.
Because
I had I sorry to cut you off. I had a
you know,
friend, my friend Andrew, he sent me that shit on TikTok.
yeah,
And he's like, "Bro, I got this shit on my For You page and I immediately realized it's your voice, but it's not your TikTok account." And I
well, yeah,
checked and it had like millions of views already and I'm
yeah.
like, "God damn."
Well, it blew up on there. Like I remember seeing like they were doing parts and stuff, and I
Yeah.
remember making a
Yep.
tweet about it, and like try
Yeah,
like
that
getting it out of my account, and then going on TikTok and then seeing it. Like it
that
blew up over there completely.
That's another thing. Yes, someone tweeted about it. Like a tweet blew up about the video. It's like a screenshot of the title and thumbnail and all that shit.
Hmm.
And the tweet's like, as he should have, because you all were so toxic to him or something like that. And my cousin sent me that tweet, and some of the boys on the algorithm server sent me that shit, and they had like tens of thousands of likes. And I'm like, God damn. Yeah, it was wild seeing a lot of like discussion around the video, whether it be pre-drama or post-drama. Um,
Yeah,
it was very interesting.
So,
because like, well, yeah, yeah. Continue. X.
so I guess what I was also kind of wondering was like, does it like make you like annoyed to see like a re-upload of it just not get any punishment, but like yours did?
I wasn't like pissed off about it or anything. I realize that's the nature of things online. But it was very jarring to see because I've never had that happen to me. So it was like a first.
So you
I
were
sent it
more.
to that server that I'm in, and they're like, "Yeah, that's normal, man. Don't worry about it. That's just the way of the internet."
So you were
And
more
this,
like shocked than just like angry then, right?
yeah, definitely, and it does definitely suck that they don't credit you or anything. Um,
Yeah.
but what's cool is that I don't know if you boys remember the video, but one of the first things my editor did was like put my little shampoo bottle icon on like a guy with a suit.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they kind of like indirectly gave me a promo, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not like I'm gonna DMCA him or anything like that. Like
Oh
I
no
wouldn't go
no.
that far. And plus, I checked, and I'm like, oh, he's like 15, and he plays Fortnite on Twitch. Like, yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah,
That's
well,
crazy.
like
yeah,
I guess like just to wrap up this episode, like I feel like you've done a lot, and you're known for a lot, right? If it's from like the interviews to your commentary stuff now to the cops husband stuff.
yeah,
So I really do appreciate you coming on Trash Talk for about 40 minutes just to discuss everything. And like usually I wouldn't go that much depth into a drama situation, but I feel
yeah.
like it is such a big situation, and especially for you, right? Like I feel
Yeah.
like it is the main thing everyone would point out if I had you on, or like I had you on and didn't mention it,
Oh,
is
a
that
thousand
the
percent. Yeah,
situation is massive. And it's
yeah.
still a thing that people like with you talk about. Like that is a conversation that does come up now and again. So yeah, like I do appreciate you just coming on and asking those questions that are more maybe of the more uncomfortable variety.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no worries, man. I'm all good. Like, I'm all good to talk about it. It's not like I
Mhm.
try and conceal it or
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
like that. Like, I'm okay with speaking about it as long as like people aren't like hurling insults at me or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like, as long as there's some sort of civil discourse,
Yeah.
I'm fine with engaging.
100%, man. And thank you everyone for watching today's episode of Trash Talk. If you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. But I've been your host Samuel. I've been with Ace Howler, and we will catch you in the next episode of Trash Talk.